What's going to happen in a village center or community center is only what you want. And I think you should forget the boogeymen a little bit because we can control that. But think in terms of services for youth, services for seniors, and the general public in the way of congregating, having meetings, parties, lessons, and that sort of thing. Have you got it? Well, so does Volcano, too, see?
I was asking what the difference between special use permit and the community village designation is, and what's our ability to get a special use permit versus the community village designation.
A special permit very simply allows for very specific uses. In other words, if you get a special permit to allow for a restaurant.
Market. Village
okay,
market.
Farmer's market.
Thank you.
Okay, a neighborhood farmer's market. That's all you can do. You cannot expand that into a watch repair shop, you know, or a restaurant, or a gas station. You know, you're limited to what is allowed under that special permit, where a change of zone, which is what the village center would be a change of zone, usually includes a range of permitted uses that are specifically identified. And you can do any of those things, okay? As long as you comply with the other codes and regulations, such as the building code, if you want to do a restaurant, versus the building code if you want to do a house. On the other hand, if you came in for something on a more small scale and more in tune with the overall intent and vision of the CDP, such as a local farmer's market, then I think that there should be some room for the planning director and the planning commission to approve something like that.
And to approve it under special use permit or to approve it under community village designation?
Special permit.
Thank you.
Could I say, there's one other thing, I'm not sure the point was made earlier. The action committee will probably go along with the sentiment of each individual community with regards to its feelings about having a possible village center designated in the CDP. And then again, those are recommendations that go to the planning director and ultimately to the county planning commission and the county council. The county council has the final decision making on this. I would strongly recommend that every community that is currently designated for any kind of village center retain the designation. Don't close the door on the opportunity to bring local access to whatever level of goods and services are appropriate for your community to your area. If you have that simply erased from the CDP, then you're going to add another level of requirement and make it much more difficult to ever. And so we're going, yeah. But actually, it would be. Then now you would have to go amend the CDP again to. If somebody comes in with a really great plan and they want to put, the farmer's market and maybe a little, whatever it is you want. I don't. It's hard for me. I don't want to put ideas in your head that aren't there already. But if it's not in the plan, it's going to be very, very difficult to happen. Just because it's in the plan doesn't mean it ever will. Without your support, it won't.
Does the plan force it all to be physically in one space? Like, let's say that in our community here, we decided that we would like, say, Sahara to be able to open up a little beauty salon in her house. And maybe someone else wanted to have a bakery, put in a commercial, legitimate bakery in their house. And we've got like education up at space. Does it have to all be concentrated in one place?
I would say no, because, well, first of all, the rules aren't written on that yet. But I would say no. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
So, Larry, I just want to make sure that it's clear.
that nothing will move forward without community review and scrutiny, and that you suggest that we keep our options open and not to remove us as a possible center. Is that correct? Thank you.
Thank you.
I've heard it a couple of times, the comment, we don't want it. Until you know what it is, don't commit to anything. I mean, because you guys decide what it is. And it may just be something simple that comes within the purview of a village center and doesn't involve any commercial, any schools.
May not
or
need
anything
any
like
buildings at all.
Yeah, right.
that. It may be.
Senior center.
You know, it may be, but
But now we're all involved, so.
yeah, but, I mean, you gotta decide what it is.
Thank you.
Is how do we work with what we have? What do we have here that we can provide for ourselves? And so it seems like what's difficult is legally we can't provide for ourselves because most of those things we would do to do that on a community basis aren't permitted or won't be approved of to be here. And so right now the situation we're in is where some activities have been going on very successfully but not on an approved basis, and now those are in jeopardy. So again, I'm a little frustrated in how do we get some traction from where we're at to move forward with some of the things we do need, and that's not clear to me.
It's not really totally clear to anybody yet, but
That makes it.
no, I'm just trying to be honest with you.
Well,
right?
no, I appreciate that. This
Well,
is,
we've
Look,
heard
this is what you're saying is
horrific
really the main,
percentages of
the
tax.
thrust of the argument that I would make for, hey, don't erase the village center designation from your area of Puna. Keep it there so that the potential is still available, that opportunity is still available to make that happen in the future. If you erase it, you make it all that much more difficult.
It's hard no matter what to get an amendment, whether it be now or in the future. It's a process you go through.
Right, but the thing is, the village center has to happen by community consensus. So we shouldn't be afraid to avoid that process in the future.
We sent a letter opposing the village center designation here in Seaview on the premise that we have not been consulted as a community. Here we are. It has brought it forward. Now people know what the village center is. We don't have to go forward with that, or we can go forward with that. It's up to you people to decide what's going to happen in your community.
I move that we rescind the letter that the Seaview board has sent to the action committee requesting that the village center zone designation be removed from the CDP.
All in favor of...
Becca seconded that.
Rebecca seconded it.
Becca
Yes.
seconded that.
All in favor, please show your number.
It's more than half.
Yeah, more than
Yeah, that's enough.
We will be rescinding that letter.